And today's class is called Tricked, Bamboozled, and Hoodwinked. All right. So let's get started because we got a lot to cover. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16 and 17. Read that.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
So God says all his scriptures, every word in this Bible, from old to new, everything, the whole thing is given for instruction on how for us to look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, am I living my life according to God? All right. This is for correction, for instructions in righteousness. So if the scriptures are given to you so you could become righteous in the eyes of God. Read.
That the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
So you could be perfect. So God has given you ways on what to do, how to live your life, how to instruct your family, your household, even yourself, right? Instruct yourself on how to become a perfect man or woman of God, all right? So he already has it written down, all right? Now go to 1 Timothy chapter 1, read verse 9 and 10.
1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
So God says his laws is not made for righteous people, because if you're righteous, what's the point of me telling you, hey, don't commit adultery? No, you become righteous, you become perfect by following the law that says thou shalt not commit adultery. So none of us is righteous. Read.
But for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners.
Last time I checked, these kind of people still live on this earth, and some of them used to be us. Some of them are still us, and we're working on fixing it. Read.
For unholy and profane, for murderers of the fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers.
For whoremongers, that's prevalent in our community a lot. Read.
For them that defile themselves with mankind.
As you can see, they're pushing that sodomite agenda. Read.
For men stealers.
People who steal people, kidnapping them. Read.
For liars.
Bunch of liars out there lying about everything. Every question you ask, they just feel like they got to lie. Is the sky blue? No, it's not. It's green. Why? Because I don't know. But you said it was green. No, I never said that. It was blue. Lying about every little thing. Read.
For perjured persons.
Making all kind of scams. Read.
And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine.
So God says his scripture is for everything that is contrary to sound doctrine. He says, knowing this first, that the law is not made for a righteous man, right? Now go to Romans chapter 7, verse 14. Because he says the law is not made for a righteous man. Read. Romans chapter 7, verse 14.
The book of Romans chapter 7 and verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
So we know that the laws of God is spiritual. What does that mean? Meaning if we apply them or if we break them, there's something that happens to us, to our family, through the people who's around you. It affects you. It affects others. It's spiritual. It's like I could physically hurt you, but the laws of God spiritually, when you break the laws of God, when you sin, you spiritually hurt others and yourself. All right. Read it again.
Verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
So he says, I'm carnal, sold under sin. So therefore, all of us have the same thing. We're carnal and we're sold unto sin. Go to Romans chapter 8, verse 5.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
So that's what it means to be carnal. You are after the flesh. Read.
But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
So if you're after the laws of God, then you become spiritual. If you're not after the laws of God, you're carnal. Read.
For to be carnally minded is death.
To be carnally minded is death. There's no way possible that you could expect yourself to succeed in life if you're carnally minded. You may have things of the world that you will count as success, but no, that is not success. And we're going to find out what success is according to the scriptures. Read.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
To be spiritually minded, to be going after the laws of God, which is spiritual, to be spiritually minded, have that in your cranium, all over, spiritually minded, is life, meaning you do things that don't bring death to you and others. It's life. Read.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against God,
Uh-huh.
for it is not subject to the law of God.
So it's not subject to the laws of God. The carnal mind don't want to hear that. The carnal mind, you tell them something that's good for them, they say they just come up with any excuse. I'm not doing that. We're not under the law. What are you talking about? I'm not doing this anymore. That's Bible time. That's old times. That's how the carnal mind think. They're not subject to the laws of God. Read.
For it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be.
Uh-huh.
So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God.
So if you're still living in the flesh, you cannot please God. That's what God said, right? Let's bring up the first definition. So the name of the class is trick, bamboozle, and hoodwinked. So let's see what trick means. Read that.
Definition of trick: a crafty procedure or practice meant to deceive or defraud. A mischievous act, prank. A deceptive, dexterous, or ingenious feat.
So read the first one again, a crafty.
A crafty procedure or practice meant to deceive or defraud.
So trick means something that somebody does to defraud somebody. You're defrauded from something, all right? They gain something from you, but you lose something. So they trick you. They trick you with craftiness, all right? Now go to the next definition. Read that.
Bamboozle, to deceive by underhanded methods. Dupe, hoodwink.
So they deceive you by underhanded methods. Click on underhanded. Scroll down.
Definition of underhanded: marked by secrecy, chicanery, and deception, not honest and above board.
Go back. So they do stuff underhanded, meaning they're not telling you the real reason they're doing it. They just do it. And when you fall for it, they know exactly why they're doing it. But you don't know. Go to the next definition. Read that.
Hoodwink, to deceive by false appearance.
To deceive by false appearance, meaning what you see is not what it is. You know, a lot of people who be buying fake stuff, you know, people who be buying fake J's and fake Louis Vuitton and stuff like, they think it's real. By the time they buy, they walk out the house, that stuff is falling off their neck. Their shoes is peeling off, talking. Every time they're taking a step, that the shoe saying shalom, Most High in Christ bless. The mouth just wide open. It's done. They got bamboozled. They got hoodwinked. They got tricked. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3. Let's read verse, let me see. Hold on. No, go to Isaiah 32, verse 9. Read that. Isaiah 32, verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease.
So God is speaking to the women. He says, time for you to rise up. A lot of women say, you know, it's women's empowerment. They got to rise up. God says, rise up. You're at ease here. You're at ease in this captivity. Read.
Hear my voice, ye careless daughters.
Uh-huh.
Give ear unto my speech.
Read.
Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women.
So God says, listen, many days you shall be troubled. And believe it or not, our sisters, our women are in troubled times right now. The stuff that you see, the way they behaved, the kidnapping, all that stuff, how they're not even looked upon. Nobody cares for them. That's troubled times. Read.
For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease.
So God says, tremble, meaning be afraid for what's coming. You're at ease. Why would you be at ease? Because you have things coming to you. You have a good career. You have a good job, well paid. You got your nice apartment, nice house, nice land. So you're at ease. You think everything is all good. God says, rise up. Read.
Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins.
He's saying, humble yourself. Humble yourself, all right? That's what God is saying. Now go to the first article. Read that.
Brian Flores sues NFL. 3 teams as former Miami Dolphins coach alleges racism in hiring practices.
So Brian Flores, we kind of heard about that where he was speaking how NFL is racist based on what they're doing. They're not letting black men become head coaches and stuff like that. We already know that. It's all a slave trade within the football world. All right. Now go to the next article. So because there was racism going on, so he's trying to fight it. Next article, please. This is what the NFL does.
NFL hires former AG Loretta Lynch to handle its racial discrimination suit.
So they hired somebody to handle the discrimination lawsuit that they're experiencing, right? Scroll down. Look who they hired. Why would they hire her? Why do they have her ready to fight against discrimination? Next article. Oh, yeah, read that.
The NFL has hired former Attorney General Loretta Lynch to defend the league in the racial discrimination lawsuit filed against it by former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores.
Okay, now go to the next article. Read that.
Paul Weiss, Loretta Lynch tapped to defend McDonald's from discrimination claims.
So there she goes again. They hired her again, once again, to defend McDonald's from discrimination. Why are they using her? Like there's nobody else they could have used? It's because of what the lawsuit is about. You got to understand something. And all that is for their own benefit. A lot of times people like to say the Willie Lynch book is fake. It's not real. No, it's real. The effects is real. We see it. They did say, listen, if you beat the last B out of her, you have good economics. That's what they said. She'll be good forever. This is what you're seeing right now, right there. You're seeing it. You're seeing the effects of it today. So the Willie Lynch is real. Go to the next article. Read that.
In just 9 months, we have nominated more black women to the federal circuit courts and more public defenders to the bench than any administration in all of American history. And we're just getting started.
We're just getting started. What happened to the black man? Why do you think they're not hiring the black man? Why do you think they're going after the black woman? Why? Let me show you why. Go to Genesis. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea.
So stop right there. So a lot of people in that cult, what's the biggest cult out there? Christianity, right? Yeah, Christianity is the biggest cult out there. So a lot of people from that cult like to think that snake right there was a snake from Harry Potter. That withers around, coming and going to the woman's ear, talking to her. Like, this is actually what they believe. And they want to call us some crazy Hebrew Israelites. No, y'all culture is crazy. Y'all believe snakes can talk to people. Go out there and no. Read.
And he said unto the woman, yea, hath God said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
So the snake is a person, all right? This is an analogy God is using. Similitude. So the snake came in to the woman. Read.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it. Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Read.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So there was a sinful man that came to the woman, Eve, right? He came to her and said, listen, I got some new stuff for you. All that stuff that your husband been teaching you, your man, Adam, the king of this world, the God of this world. No, I got something better for you. Wait, what can be better than what the God of this world can teach you or have for you? Deceive, tricked, bamboozle. You see this? You see it happening. Been hoodwinked. They present something to you. You think it's good. Or we're gonna hire a whole bunch of what the article said. Go back. Joe Biden. Read that.
In just 9 months,
we
have nominated more black women to the federal circuit courts and more public defenders to the bench than any administration in all of American history. And we're just getting started.
So meaning they're going to hire more. They're going to hire more. So black women is like, yes, we're going to make it. That's why they hate the Israelites. That's why they hate Kevin Samuels. That's why they hate anybody that does not want to uplift them and say, be on top. This how they want men to hold women. Hold my mic for me. Just like that. That's what they want the men to do. Have the woman just like that. Hold it. This is my wife. I love her. She's the woman she's the head of the house. That's exactly what they want us to do. That is not happening. No, that is not happening. All right? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. A sinful man went after a weaker vessel. Matter of fact, before you get that, get the weaker vessel scripture. Before you get that. He went after the weaker vessel. He said, and Willie Lynch time, he said, beat her. Beat her till she shake. You know how kids get beat? They get beat so much and shaking. Y'all don't know what happened to y'all. Now y'all want to just follow. But I understand. You want to survive. That's how you function. Read that. Read that for me.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
So God says we have to dwell with them according to knowledge. Read.
Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
So she's the weaker vessel. So that's why they go after her. That's why they make sure that black men are locked up. Don't give them no mic, no nothing. If you want to be on TV, if you want to be a public figure, make sure that black man grab his ankles. If you're not grabbing ankles, you ain't going nowhere. That's the kind of black man they want up there. Man that grab ankles. Go to 2 Thessalonians. So the sinful man, right? Read that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 and 4.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
That man of sin is the so-called white man, the Caucasian race that God calls Esau. That's the man of sin, the same man of sin from the beginning who went after the woman, who wants to uplift the woman. You will be like Adam. Read.
The son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
He opposes God. If God says, go this way, he says, I'm going to go that way. If God says, put this over there, he says, I'm going to put it over here. That's what he does. He opposes everything that God says. He wants to do the opposite. Read.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
So he sits in the temple of God, meaning the churches and stuff like that that's out there. He makes himself a judge, executioner, passes laws and all that. He thinks he's God. Listen, that little thing that Russia got going on with what is it called? Ukraine? I want a piece of that. They're fighting. I want to go over there. I want to be the big bad wolf. Make sure I control everything. They can't stay where they at. They have to be in everything. They oppose God. They want to be God. They want to go in space. They want to make sure they can watch over everybody. They want to know exactly what's going on from your life, from the day you're born to the day you die. They want to be exactly like God. Know everything about you. That's it in that scripture? Yes, now go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
He opposes that. He doesn't like that. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
Now go back to the article. Go back to the Twitter post. Read that.
In just 9 months, we have nominated more black women to the federal circuit courts and more public defenders to the bench than any administration in all of American history. And we're just getting started.
So if the men of sin will put that up, why would you think it's good for you? Remember, we read the definition before about tricked, bamboozled, and hoodwinked. They present something. What were some of the words they used? Do you remember? Go back to it. Yeah, they deceive you. They dupe you. Underhanded. That's what they do. You don't have to go back. Don't worry. That's what they do. They present stuff to you thinking it's good when it's not. Now go to the next article. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You already know these people are fake. They came, they made the money, and they bounced. But why would they use that face? Why was that the lead for Black Lives Matter? Now read the names of the people that was dead.
In 2013, 3 radical black organizers, Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi, created a black-centered political will and movement building project called Black Lives Matter. It was in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer, George Zimmerman.
2 men, 2 male figures died. It wasn't only men that died, but look who they have pushing. Look who they have in the front line. Who chose them? Who chose them to let them think that you're doing a good job? He opposes God. So why the hell would you think if he puts you on the front line, it's going to be good for us? It's for his own benefit. Underhanded you, tricked you. Go to the next one. Read that. Read the one on the right.
Eunice Rivers Laurie. Eunice Verdell Rivers Laurie was an African-American nurse who worked in the state of Alabama. She is best known for her work as the coordinator of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment from 1932 to 1972.
Now, the word right here, experiment, should have been switched with execution. The Tuskegee syphilis execution. That's what it was. Guess who they used? Go back, click on images. That's who they use. Why? Why did they use her? Why did Satan, why did the serpent, the cunning, wicked men of sin from back then, why is he doing the same thing today? Why is he going after our sisters as the weaker? Why? Because you're the weaker vessel. And he knows that. He knows if he breaks you, you're going to be on his side 100,000%. Because you're survivalists. You do everything what you got to do to survive. Go to the next one. We're going to go back to the scriptures. Just going to cover some stuff real quick. Go to the next one. Yep, play that.
I'm Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger is the founder of Planned Parenthood.
Hello.
In the mid-1920s, Margaret Sanger spoke to a group that came to hear her in
KKK
full
members.
regalia.
Eugenics means the release and cultivation of the better racial elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extirpation of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. The most merciful thing that a large family does to one of its members is to kill it.
She hired black ministers expressly to sell the idea.
We don't want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members.
Now you saw who they
Surely
went to go
today's
speak,
Democratic
right?
Party leaders
Pause it.
would
They went straight for the woman in the video because they know exactly who to go to. Play.
repudiate Margaret Sanger.
Even though they said minister, but they went for the minister's wife.
Sanger enormously. I am really in awe of her. And there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from her life and from the cause she launched and fought for and sacrificed so greatly.
Good afternoon, this is Autumn.
Hello, Autumn. I'm interested in making a donation today.
Fantastic.
What about abortions for the underprivileged minority groups? Would that be possible? Like the black community, for example?
Certainly.
It is unfortunate that Planned Parenthood has been the object of such a concerted attack.
I really face trouble with affirmative action, and I don't want my kids being disadvantaged, against black kids. I just had a baby. I want to put in his name. And we just think, the less black kids out there, the better.
Understandable.
So I'm hoping that this situation will not further undermine the very important services that Planned Parenthood provides.
Hello, this is Sue. May I help you?
Hi, Sue. I'm interested in making a donation. Could I specify that abortion be done, or those abortions be done for a particular minority group?
If you wish, you can.
Okay. So for example, the black community in Tulsa, the abortions will be done specifically for the black community abortions.
Great.
Today, the vast majority of Planned Parenthood clinics are located in our neighborhoods.
You can stop it. Now, you heard the devil speaking, saying she wants to kill off black people. Basically, if you're not an Edomite, they want to get rid of you. Basically, that's what she's saying. They don't care about nobody else but getting rid of us. We're a threat to them. And that devil says she admired Margaret Sanger. She admired her. You know what it means to admire somebody? Meaning like, oh my God, I want to be just like them. I want to follow their footsteps. Now go to the next article. Read that.
Polling results estimate 94%.
The what?
94% of black women voters chose Hillary Clinton.
Now, why in the world will that be happening right there? You heard her. You heard who she admired. Listen to this nonsense. Scroll down. Look at that. What do you think happened to them? What do you think happened to them? They got tricked. They got bamboozled. They got hoodwinked, thinking that's going to be better for them. No, the man of sin will never give you something that's good for you, for our people. If he chooses you, what do you think is going to, I always thought about something, right? I thought about this. Imagine we have a black community, a big black neighborhood, 2 blocks or whatever, I don't know. Let's just say a big black community, right? We got beautiful houses, children playing around. Does it make sense to put an Edomite at the security gate? It doesn't make sense, right? Why would you do that? Why would you put an Edomite at your security gate to protect a black community? It doesn't work. They will. If you do that, you're crazy. Why would you let your enemy teach your kids? That it doesn't work. The same way, the only reason they have black people protecting them at the gates is because our mind is destroyed. That's why. So go back. Scroll down. Do I have the stats after that? Let me see. The next. Nope, go back. Scroll down. Hold on, I want to see the stats. Yeah, scroll down. Yep, read that.
Race and gender. White men for Hillary Clinton, 31%. For Trump, 63%. White women for Clinton, 43%.
So even white women don't want her. Read on.
White women for Trump, 53%.
They want Trump. Read.
Black men for Hillary Clinton, 80%.
Crazy. Done. Got their mind all jacked up. Read.
Black men for Trump, 13%.
Uh-huh.
Black women for Hillary Clinton, 94%.
Damn. Why? Why would you want her? Why would we want them? They don't want us. Scroll down. Read the, wait, scroll up. Let me see something. Read the Latino men.
Latino men for Hillary Clinton, 62%.
Uh-huh.
For Trump, 33%. Latino women for Clinton, 68%. For Trump, 26%.
Now, what the hell is going on? Why do our people think like that? Why do our people think that these people want our best interests? No, they don't want that. Hey, I believe I think you pulled it up earlier, the stats. It was like a graph. But you know what? Don't worry. Just drop it. We got the picture. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 11.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 11. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ.
So God says there's no other foundation that can be laid, because when God sets something out as the foundation, that's what we build from. All right, that's how we have great success. We accomplish things in life by having God be the foundation. The same way as us, we follow Christ. Right? That's what we follow. We follow Christ. Christ is our foundation. We do what he says and believe what he says, and then we build from there. Go to chapter 11, verse 2 and 3. Read that again.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
So God says the head of the woman is the man, and our head is Christ, right? And a lot of times sisters like to be like, they like to say, I want a godly man. Who's going to teach that godly man? Christ, right? So now, if you say I'm going to submit to a man when he does right, do you have faith in Christ? You understand what I'm saying? If I take my son and I bring him to get trained by some professional and some kind of career or anything, right? Would I be surprised if my son comes back and say he's better at this, or he likes certain things, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like carpentry. Would I be surprised if he gets trained like by Officer Bezalel and he comes back and now he knows how to build things? No, I'm going to be like, oh, snap. Officer Bezalel, you're doing a good thing. My son knows carpentry real good. He knows how to fix things, build things real good. And he's getting cut strong. Now, if I take him to Officer Bezalel and I'm like, man, I don't know if this guy, I don't know if I can trust him with my son for him to be a good carpenter. Do I have faith that Bezalel could teach him? No. It's the same thing with Christ. God says the head of man is Christ. If the head of man is Christ, how do you think the man will become if he's followed Christ? Just like Christ. Have faith in Christ. Don't say I'm going to submit to a man when he gets right. No, have faith in God. Have faith in God. Have faith in Christ. Have faith in your man, your husband. All right? The man that's leading you. Not government. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 1 and 3. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 1 through 3.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 1. O God of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom.
God ordained man through his wisdom, read.
That he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, and order the world according to equity and righteousness.
God made the men to rule this world. The black men, the Hispanic men, the Native American men, who are the Israelites, are set to rule this world in righteousness. When we don't rule, we have the men of sin ruling, who opposes, who goes contrary to everything that God says. guess what? He's going to flip things around and think it's going to benefit you. It's crazy how in this society, they say everybody's equal. We all created equal. America, the big dream, the golden city where everybody can flourish. World peace. But for some reason, he's always on top. Why? Why can't he be on the bottom? Why he can't say, you know what, I'm tired of ruling the world. Let's switch. Let's give somebody else a chance. No! He's not going to do that. So everything he's going to do will be for his own benefit. You finished that?
And execute judgment with an upright heart.
Mm-hmm. All right, go to Titus. No, you know what? Go back. Bring up the next image. Right after. Yep, read that.
Pay black women for their labor instead of using them for diversity clout.
Stop using them for diversity clout. That's what they're saying. Why are they doing that though? Why does a woman have to feel that way? Because they're always doing that. They're always promising you this is for your own benefit. Come on. Go, when you graduate high school, make sure you get a PhD. Go to school for 10 years. From 16 to 17, go to school for 10 years. You'll be done at 26. When you're done at 26, now you can focus on your career. Focus on your career. You'll find you'll be established by 30, and then keep moving on every 2 or 3 years, 34, 35. You'll be on top making 6 figures or however much. You'll be on top making a lot of money, right? And then after that, then go find a husband and then have kids. That's what they teach. But they don't follow that. You know how I know they don't follow that? I was watching this show, right? It's not popular among black people, but I watched it because people were talking about it, and when I watched it, I learned a lot about Edomites. They put their secrets in that show. It's called The Office. It's an Edomite show. They put how they feel towards black people in that show. They put how they feel about single parents household. They put that stuff in that show. It's shameful. So when they see you, what do you think they're thinking? They be like, damn, look at her. Go ahead, here's there. Oh, you want child support? Oh, no problem. Here it is. You want welfare? Look. They go home, husband. You should have seen her today. She was ratchet looking. She came and she asked for the welfare again. These black people, man, I just don't get them. They always want some welfare. Let you trying to get up, do stuff for yourself. They're gonna say, "No, you can't do that. If you do that, if you're doing the right thing, how can I talk bad about you? I can't. Then I won't be fulfilled because I'm a demon. I can't be righteous. I gotta be evil. So if you're doing the right thing, what evil thing can I say? No, it's not gonna be right. So please, here's the welfare. Continue to be ratchet. Continue to be tricked by us. Vote for us. Admire. Vote for the person who said, I admire the person that wants to kill your children. Set them up in black communities. You voted for that person? Shame, shame, shame. That's shame. Go to the next article. 2.5 million women. Read that.
Kamala Harris. The exodus.
Kamala Harris is not black. She just used y'all. All right? Y'all got used again. Y'all got duped, tricked, bamboozled, hoodwinked. Everybody thought she was black. She ain't black. Why do they keep using our sisters? Why? Because you're the weaker vessel and they prey on you. Just like the men of sin in the Garden of Eden, they're doing the same thing. It has not changed. There's no end of the people. Kamala Harris is a heathen. She used our sisters for their own benefit. Go back. And now listen, look at her crying wolf. Shut your damn mouth. Read that.
Kamala Harris. The exodus of women from the workforce is a national emergency.
Go scroll down. Read that. Well, hold on. Scroll up a little bit. Let's read that a little bit right there. Last September.
Last September, I had the chance to talk with culinary workers at a virtual town hall. One of the workers was M. Roca, who used to work at a hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. When the pandemic hit last March, like so many in the tourism and hospitality industry, she was furloughed.
Okay, now go scroll down. Read that.
About 2.5 million women have lost their jobs or dropped out of the workforce during the pandemic. That's enough to fill 40 football stadiums. This mass exodus of women from the workforce is a national emergency, and it demands a national solution.
So a whole bunch of women left the workforce, right? Now go to the next article. Statistic on black women on job force. Read that.
5 facts about black women in the labor force.
Scroll down. Read that.
1. Black women earn 63 cents for every dollar earned by white, non-Hispanic men.
But you're the most educated. Why do you earn less? Scroll down. Read that part.
The amount women earn for each dollar earned by non-Hispanic white men.
You see that? He's Asian, white, non-Hispanic, black, American. Scroll down. Read.
This wage gap is not just driven by educational differences.
Scroll down. Wait, hold on. Read that.
Even controlling for education, black women still earn less than their white male counterparts. Among those with a bachelor's degree, black women only earn 65% of what comparable white men do.
Scroll down.
For instance.
Read. The third one, number 3.
Black women have the highest labor force participation rate of all women.
The what?
The highest labor force participation rate of all women.
So you work hard. You are out there working hard. Why? Because the Willie Lynch is still in effect. Y'all may think it's not real. No, it's real. The reason you want to believe it's not real is because normalcy bias. You want to say something is not real so you won't be affected by it. No, that doesn't change it. Read.
Typically, black women have higher labor force participation rates than other women, meaning a higher share of black women are either employed or unemployed and looking for work. For instance, in 2019, black women's labor force participation rate was 60.5% compared with 56.8% for white women.
White women ain't worrying about working. That's why I tell you that I show The Office. They reveal themselves. They tell you how things are because they know black people ain't gonna watch that show. There was a woman on there. She was all into corporate America, just want to climb the ladder. When it was time for her to have a kid, she dropped that. She left that stuff. She left, went back, wearing her dresses and skirt, making her little flower, whatever business she was trying to start, taking care of her baby. Go back. Scroll down. Read that.
Compared with other women, black women have highest labor force participation rate.
Read the percentage.
56.2% total, 55.7% for white women, 58.8% for black women, 56.4% for Hispanic women, and 56.8% for all other groups.
So you work harder. And then Joe Biden said, we're going to hire more. Why? Why do they want you in the forefront like that? It's not for no reason. I'm going to show you why. Go back to the article. Scroll down. I want to see if there's more. Yep, scroll down. Read.
Black women have also experienced high unemployment, especially in the wake of the pandemic. Black moms, too, have relatively high labor force participation
Now
rates.
go to the next article. Read.
Ambition is not the problem.
That's not the problem. Y'all have ambition. This ambition is good. It drives you. It makes you want to do things. You're very ambitious. I like that. Come on in. What do you want? You want a salary? Let me slap you with it. Pop. You want a PhD? Here's another slap. Blah. You got it. 2 slaps. Left cheek, right cheek. Both red. You got ambitions. You want to be a leader? Black. Be a leader for the black. Be a black activist. We need women's right. We need more abortions. Stand up. Women's body. It's your body. It's your right. While behind the doors, hey man, come on, Biff, Cliff. What can we do to exterminate these weeds? These niggers keep populating. I know exactly what to do. Put the woman in the forefront. Destroy her. Use her that way. But that's not the only way to use our women. Continue. Go back.
Ambition is not the problem. Women want the top jobs. They just don't get them.
Scroll down. Look who they have. You think they have that picture by accident? No, sir. Go to the next article.
Women's ambition at work. Race breakdown of women who say they are very ambitious when it comes to their career.
Meaning they take their job serious. You know how serious they take it? If you say, can I please have a pack of ketchup, they're going to give you 2. They won't give you more than 5. They said, nah, we gotta save the company's money. The company is losing money when we give you 6 packs of ketchup. So here's 2. Matter of fact, I don't like your attitude. I'm going to take 1 back. Here's 1 only. Very ambitious. I want to work. I need a career. Like, I just graduated. Oh, snap. I don't know what to do. I know what to do. I'm going to lie to myself. I'm going to say I need higher education. I'm going to spend more time in school. I'm in school for 10 years because I don't want to face real life. If I face real life, I'm going to find out that, wait a minute, I'm losing time. No, I'm not trying to face that. Very ambitious. Go back.
Black women at 75%. Hispanic women at 65%. Asian and other women, 50%. White women, 46%.
White women don't care. They don't care. They don't have that much ambition, even though they're fighting for equal rights. We want equal pay. Blah, 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 blah. No, they don't care. It's a lie. They don't care about that stuff. When they get pregnant, they quit. I know that. They get pregnant, it's time for them to raise their children. They quit the damn jobs. I know that for a fact. Go. That's next article. Very ambitious. Read.
42% of women say they have consistently felt burned out at work in 2021.
Scroll down. Scroll down. Let me see something. Scroll down. Keep going, keep going. Stop. Yeah, read that.
We've known for quite some time that women are feeling the burdens of the pandemic disproportionately.
So we read who mostly working, right? So who do you think is being impacted by this the most? You think it's the white women that's not very ambitious, who don't care about their jobs? They just want to work. They just want to do stuff. I need something to do. I need to be busy. But when it's time for me to leave, I'll leave because my husband is already making a lot. I don't need this. I don't got to be here. Read.
They've taken on more responsibilities at home, from supervising remote learning for their children to basic household chores. Mm-hmm. Women have also been forced out of their jobs at a disproportionate rate. Many mothers left the workforce due to lack of childcare when schools and daycares closed during the pandemic.
Who do you think is being affected by this the most? Don't be fooled. They'll tell you, go to work. Make sure you can provide for yourself. Be independent. While back at home, they'll quit their jobs. If you don't believe me, look into it. They'll quit. They'll go home and take care of the kids. Go to the next article. Read that.
The STEM gap. Women and girls in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Girls and women are systematically tracked away from science and math throughout their education, limiting their access, preparation, and opportunities to go into these fields as adults. Women make up only 28% of the workforce in science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, and men vastly outnumber women majoring in most STEM fields in college.
Let me explain something to you. If the world got destroyed, they use men to build it back. Understand that. Why would I say that? Who built this world? Men. So when it's time for them to know, you know what? We need to build this back up. Who do you think they're gonna go after? The reason that women don't go after these jobs mostly is because there's women's work and there's men's work. Get that in Tobit. Let's see what the scripture says. Let's see what Edna did. And I'm not saying women can't be smart, have education to do science and technology. No, understand this, that structure and society is done by men. Read that.
Tobit chapter 2 and verse 10. And I knew not that there were sparrows in the wall, and mine eyes being opened, the sparrows muted warm dung into mine eyes.
So Tobit got blind, right? He got blinded by a sparrow who took a dump in his eye. Read.
And a whiteness came in mine eyes, and I went to the physicians, but they helped me not. Moreover, Achiacharis did nourish me until I went into Elemaus. And my wife Anna did take...
Anna, that's her name, not Edna. What am I saying? Read.
And my wife Anna did take women's works to do.
Why would she take women's work? Why she didn't put on her Timbs and go grab those big old construction concrete, I don't know what, metal, walk around with it? Talking about, hey, how you doing, guys? Whistling at men. Phew, like, I can't whistle, but you know what I mean. Why did they go walk around doing that? Why she didn't go do that? Why she didn't say, what a hammer at? I need to build something. Why she went after women's work? She go after, be in construction. She come home. She rubbing your head. Half of your scalp is coming off. The hell is this? She cooking your food. She give you your plate. You see all your plate is scratched up. Nah, women's work. Y'all built different. We not the same. There's men's work. There's women's work. That's not to be ashamed of. Go on the article. I think there's something else. Let me see. Scroll down. Yeah, read that.
Why so few women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
It's because they're not choosing it. That's why. We know the kind of careers that our sisters have. They go after. It's good. It's needed. Like nursing. That's good. That's science. That's part of science and stuff like that. That's good. That's needed. But there's other stuff that's needed too that our sisters don't go after. They want to uphold America. Go to let me see. Go to Jordan Peterson. So women need to empower themselves, right? Let's see about women's self-empowerment. Women's self-empowerment is a false appearance of success. That's what it is. It's a false appearance of success. It's being underguarded. It's being presented to you in an underguarded way, all right? Go to Colossians chapter 2. Read that. Yep.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
God says we always got to be beware. Because people will always try to spoil us. They will try to spoil us from being who we truly need to be. Through philosophies, through ways of men, through any kind of things. And they will always go after the weaker vessel to get to us. Why? Remember, we read earlier that the laws of God is spiritual. When you go after the mother first, you say, oh, why don't they go after the father? Because the father will fight back. After you destroy the mother, she will raise the generation of men that they want. And then that generation of men will be weak as hell. And then when they get married, their children that they're going to bring forth with the daughters of the woman that they already destroyed is going to be more destroyed. That's why they keep doing. Put it up.
So that's my idea of the patriarchy, which is a system of male dominance of society.
Yeah, but that's not my sense of the patriarchy.
So what's yours?
Well, in what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labour.
Very tiny proportion of men, and a huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. It's like, where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate.
But I could say equally well that most rape victims are women. Terrible.
So a lot of women say we want equality right now. You don't want equality. I'm going to tell you this right now. What men go through, you don't want that. You don't want to be in the street begging for money. You don't want that. That's why a lot of times when women can't have something, they go to government assistance. Men can't go do that. They go to child support. Men can't go do that. You got to survive on your own. You're men. You're supposed to learn how to provide. That's the standards that we hold each other on. And when you don't, the world says, F you. You out of here. Go to prison. Go work for 8 cents an hour. That's what we want you to do. Matter of fact, if a woman commits a violent crime, her sentence is not the same thing as the men. She could kill her husband and be like, it was self-defense. He was attacking me. He caught me a few times on the back of the head, but that was after I almost slit his throat. I'm not going to say that, though. After I almost slit his throat, he swung at me for self-defense. But then I was like, oh, snap. My life is danger. I'm going to wait when he sleep. Boom, catch him while he sleep. Never let them know your next move. Go to the Miley Cyrus. Scroll down. Twerking. Everybody know twerking. Twerking ain't nothing new. It's been going on for years. But there's something that happened though. Read that.
In 2013, it became the top "What is" search on the Google search engine, following pop artist Miley Cyrus performing the dance at the MTV Video Music Awards.
So after she did that, everybody was searching, what is twerk? Twerk is not new. That is not new. They've been doing that. Carnivals and all that is not new. But Miley Cyrus, for some reason, she came. She slithered her ways around. She said, oh, let me walk. I'm looking for some simps. I'm looking for people who I could trick, bamboozle, and hoodwinked. Next one. Read that.
Miley Cyrus felt sexualized while twerking during 2013 MTV VMA performance.
She felt sexualized, right? In 2013. Scroll down. Let's see the image. Who told her to do that? Nobody. She did that. Now look at her, tongue out. For some reason, they always got to take the tongue out. There's a reason for that. Scroll down. Go back. Now read that.
Miley Cyrus, 24, has changed her image.
She changed her image. Read.
Again.
Read.
For the release of her new single, Malibu.
Uh-huh.
This time around, she's given her music more of a country feel.
This time around, she's doing what?
Giving her music more of a country feel.
So after she went in her twerking days, it was a phase, right? That's what they like to say. It's a phase. This is what they do. They go, stick your hand out. They go, oh, you committed a crime? It was a phase. Oh, you was twerking on video? Your father then raised her. She's just going through, teenagers. I know she's 20, but teenagers, they go through things. It was a phase, No, she'll be all right. Go back.
This time around, she's given her music more of a country feel and has a more conservative look compared to her bangers days.
So she don't look like she used to look during her bangers days. Right? She don't look like that anymore. But guess what? Did twerking get more popular? Twerking took off right after that. And guess who is like the number one face for it? Is it white woman? Is it Chinese? No, it's you, the black woman, the Hispanic woman. They put it out there in the forefront. You took it and ran with it. And then they fall back and say, look at these hoodlums. Look at them. They're no good. They're over-sexualized. The black woman only wants to have sex. Go to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. She came, she put it out there, and she left. She changed her ways. She said, oh my gosh, I was sexualized. I feel so dirty. I feel so ashamed. You don't think she probably got a couple of slaps around saying you brought shame to your people? What you doing to this family? You think they just left her alone? No. She got that talk. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
And if you go watch her video, she only had big black women twerking in the video. Put it out there in the forefront. You chose her ways. You envied it. Nah, I could do it better. Man, these white girls don't know how to twerk. Let me show you. Now they got all kind of twerk things out there. It emerged to OnlyFans now. Who's doing that? Who's overly sexualizing you? There's no pimps out there. Pimps ain't making money like they used to. Who's pimping you? They pimped you. Go to the next article. Read that.
The 7 richest female rappers.
Scroll down. Now, I don't know the first lady's nationality. Do you know? Scroll down. Let's just get the names. Keep going till you see the names. Right there.
MIA. Net worth $14 million.
$14 million. Scroll down.
Cheryl James. Net worth $14 million.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Sandra Denton.
I don't know these people. I'm old. Nah, I'm not connected to this world. I don't listen to that garbage. Scroll down. I know her though, because she's more popular among the black community. Read.
Cardi B. Net worth $24 million.
Now, when you see Cardi B, you're like, damn, this girl's very popular. Like, she's everywhere. But her net worth is $24 million. She's very popular, right? Go back. Scroll.
Missy Elliott.
Been out there for a long time. Read.
Net worth $50 million.
Scroll down.
Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm.
Net worth $60 million.
And that's only because they've been out there for a long time. Scroll down.
Nicki Minaj. Net worth $85 million.
Okay. That's a lot of money. Now look up Miley Cyrus net worth. Let's see something real quick. Let's see Their net worth. We're going to look up some artists. Because, let me see. Read that.
Miley Cyrus is an American singer, songwriter, actress, and philanthropist who has a net worth of $160 million.
Wow. Amazing. Now look up Katy Perry. There's a reason I'm bringing these people out. Katy Perry.
As of 2022, Katy Perry's net worth is roughly $330 million.
Okay, next one, Kelly Clarkson. I don't know these people. I have to ask, hey, wife, you know some names? Give me some names. I know she used to listen to that stuff. A little sweet self.
Kelly Clarkson reportedly has an estimated net worth of $45 million.
Okay. Next one, Ariana Grande. Let's see. You don't have to go back to us. You could just keep that stuff up.
According to Celebrity Net Worth, Ariana Grande is worth an estimated $200 million as of 2022.
Damn, that's a lot. Now go to Adele. Everybody know who Adele is. She was fat and she lost weight. Now she's more popular.
Adele is an extremely popular and successful British singer-songwriter. Over the decade between 2009 and 2019, Adele earned over $430 million.
Now, the reason I brought these women out, the other nations, the heathens, whose net worth is a lot, and you see Cardi B, you see Megan Thee Stallion, you see Nicki Minaj, you see Beyonce, stuff like that, right? Which one of them have to be naked to make money? Is it the other ones? The net worth, that's a lot of money? Because they like to say sex sells, right? Oh, we got to do it because sex sells. No. They're lying to you. Because these other Edomites, these other heathen singers, they're not doing none of that stuff. They're doing that to you so you could influence the other sisters, the other young women. And then you have kids, single parent household, raising monsters, gang banging in the streets. Keep the cycle going. Nah, be your own people. I'm independent. Or they're single late. Nah. They're singing that stuff to you. Go to the video. Just hilarious. The YouTube video that's right after that. Play that.
I'm a little mad about something. We trying to live up to this hot girl, city girl shit. I'm talking about we walk around, fuck these niggas, pop this pussy, get this money, fuck a bitch. And our fucking leaders are in love. These bitches in whole relationships. These bitches teaching us how to hop on and off dicks, steal money from niggas while they sleep, how to finesse a nigga out of his drugs so we can go sell it. And they over here living happily ever after. We keep standing at the bottom of the steps waiting for Megan and City Girls to drop more songs with more instructions on how to fuck our lives up. These bitches is rich and in love, bitch, and we broke and single. Well, I ain't broke, but I'm for the people, so I'ma act broke today. Megan, you wanna help us? Rap about how you got money back, yo. Young Miami is happily in love with a nigga who said she ugly with her wig off. If that ain't love, I don't know what the fuck is. Nikki, how did you get Kenny? Cardi, how you still going strong with Offset? Iggy, how did you get Playboy? That's like taking relationship advice from a single bitch. Come on. Did you want us to be hot girls, but y'all having a Sierra summer? Shit.
Now you heard what she said, right? You heard what she said and you heard what she called him. Leaders. These women are the leaders of black women in the community, in the world. Black women look up to them. Ask any black woman, who do you look up to? Give me a name. Don't let it be an entertainer. And see let's see whose name they bring up. 1 Corinthians 15:33.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived.
Don't lie to yourself. Don't talk about I'm just listening to it. It's nothing. It's just entertainment. No, you're lying to yourself. Read.
Evil communications corrupt good manners.
The good manners is the laws of God. It will corrupt that. And there's a trickle down effect. It's a domino effect. All they do is come and push the domino, and the domino keeps rolling, and it takes somebody to come and stop, put a hand between those dominoes to make it stop. Other than that, it just keeps going. The effects just keeps going non-stop. They're telling you got sex sales. I can't find this video. But when Nicki Minaj first came, I remember her first interview that I ever saw of her. She said she was not going to over-sexualize her body. She said she was not going to do that. She was wearing jeans and a jacket, a black jacket. She was doing a radio interview. Now look at her. It's like they're still putting clothes on her. She goes out there not remembering, oh snap, am I finished? Did I finish dressing? You know how you walk out and be like, oh, I forgot something. They walk out. I'm in my underwear. Oh, I'm wearing underwear? I guess I got too much clothes on. I got to take some off every time. They're making you they're making you look like prostitutes. Got doctors taking an airplane, wearing clothes that's so sexualized that people are uncomfortable. Uncomfortable sitting by you, but you're a doctor. Makes no shame. Read that scripture again.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Go to the next article.
Single women are losing in today's economy.
Wait. Why would single women be losing in today's economy? What's wrong with the economy? You're not being hired. And because you're single, guess what? Who has to take care of the bills? You by yourself. Sirach 20. Well, no, hold that. Go to bring it back. Let's see if there's some stuff on there. Scroll down. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, read that. I do feel like
the renting industry really caters towards couples.
Oh, snap. That is strange. The renters industry really caters towards couples. Read.
And those who are sharing one room and can split rent. She told Insider. What does that mean for the rest of us that are not in a relationship or not splitting one bedroom with a partner?
You're supposed to be a woman and a husband is supposed to be together building. You're not supposed to be building by yourself. That's not how God established the order. That is outside of your nature. You understand? It's like a cow eating meat. That cow will get sick. A wolf being a damn vegetarian, he could never live off to his full strength. You're not designed to do that. Do what you're designed by God to do. Go back. You done?
Manelli is experiencing an effect of the single tax, in which singles are penalized in an economy shaped by post-World War II values.
That's it. Now, go to the next one. This is our women have the wrong focus. Focus on real women empowerment. All right? This is real women empowerment. Because a lot of our sisters, they something is presented to them, and as long as they're at ease, they're good. Now, am I right? I'm all right. I'm good. I'm living my best life. Hot girl summer, lonely winter. I'm good. Article.
Tens of thousands of black women vanish each year. This website tells their stories.
There's so much. It says tens of thousands of black women vanish each year. Kidnapped. Taken. Don't know where to go each year. And they had to create a website. Scroll down a little bit. Our black girls. Where's the women empowerment for this? Why y'all not fighting for that? Y'all doing slut walk. Want to walk around with your chest out. For what? You want to fight to kill a baby. For what? Got all these black girls missing. All this abortion happening. Twerking on videos, advertising yourself. Next one, next article. Next article. Mordecai, you good back there? Communicate, talk to me. Yep.
Incomplete data complicates the search for missing Native American women.
Native American women too. That's women empowerment. Do something to solve this. There's a problem. Go to Revelation chapter 18. There's a problem. The men of sin have tricked you, just like they tricked Eve. The man was not deceived, but the woman being in the transgression. Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. Hold on. Yeah, read verse 1 and 2.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
Babylon the Great is fallen, which is America. Read.
Is fallen.
Uh-huh.
And is become the habitation of devils.
Now go to verse 11.
Verse 11.
Read verse 11. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth,
the companies of the earth, the businesses of this earth,
shall weep and mourn over her. Mm-hmm. For no man buyeth her merchandise anymore.
So they're not buying anything of her merchandise. It's not meaning they were buying stuff from her until she got destroyed. Read.
The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots.
So they were buying all kind of products from Babylon, America. Read.
And slaves.
And slaves, which we saw happen in 1492, 1619, and slaves, and it's still happening. Read.
And souls of men.
What do you think these black girls are missing? Can't be found. Because they're still being bought off. Sex slave. You don't think that stuff is happening? You advertising yourself only to be a sexual product. The black woman is known to be sexualized only for sex by the black man and by the other nations. Every song by a black man is about how she the black woman could do him dirty sexually. And then Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion come out with the same thing, talking about how they're gonna be a bigger hoe than the men of sin already made them. A bigger whore. Go to the next article. Women empowerment. Got black women being missed. Thousands. That don't bother you? Well, you want to walk around with your titties out. That's what you're fighting for. Read that.
Black woman bled to death because of racist hospital practices.
That don't bother you? That don't bother you that they don't care about you when you go give birth? Where's the empowerment for that? Bleeding to death. Go to Exodus. In a hospital. Makes no damn sense. You go there for help. You get ignored. They don't care about you. They only care for themselves. Exodus about the two sisters. Read it.
Exodus chapter 1 and verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife...
women's work. When you do the office of a midwife, women's work.
To the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then he shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Read it.
But the midwives feared God. And
fear who?
Feared God.
Not the men of sin, not society. Y'all women always worry about what society is going to think of you. No, worry about what God is going to think of you. Stop worrying about what these ratchet women think. The ratchet woman is always the one to jump on the woman who's trying to do right. We need more good women to stand up. Read.
and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing and have saved the men children alive?
What verse you on?
Verse 19 now.
Read.
And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
Now go back to the article. Read that.
Black woman bled to death because of racist hospital practices. Lawsuit.
Read on. Scroll down. Read that.
The family of a black woman who died from a routine C-section is suing the hospital for racist practices, CBS Los Angeles reports.
C-sections. How many black women you know that have done C-sections? For some reason, black women here can't give birth, but the ones overseas can do it naturally. Only in America. In America, they cannot give birth naturally. They got to get cut. But you go to Africa, they're giving birth normal. In the sand, in dirt. Pop out the baby. Baby growing up, playing with dirt. Playing with hyenas and stuff. Make no sense. Next article. The Facebook video. Women empowerment. Empower your woman about this. What's the woman empowerment for this? Play that video. Look at that. Play.
R-E-E, fuck nigga free. That mean I ain't gotta worry about no fuck nigga cheat. And I'm S-I-N-G-L-E again. Outside hanging out the window with my ratchet ass friends. I'm F-R-E-E, fuck nigga free. That mean I ain't gotta worry about no fuck nigga cheat. And I'm S-I-N-G-L-E again. Outside hanging out the window with my ratchet ass friends.
You can stop it. Stop that nonsense. Where's the women empowerment for this? It's all a lie. They're lying to you. They're presenting to you something underhanded. They're tricking you. You're being bamboozled. You're being hoodwinked. Hot girl summer. Go to the Psychology Today.
Some of the women did express frustrations with their single.
No, that's not the first one. That's not the first one. The next one is the first one. The next image of that was part 2 of the image. You get part 1 of the image. Yep.
Singlehood on their own terms.
Singlehood on their own term. Read.
Singlehood is in and of itself a strategy for managing one's broader life goals.
No, read the whole thing.
For many of the black women Moorman interviewed, their single lives were intentional and beneficial. Singlehood is in and of itself a strategy for managing one's broader life goals and responsibilities, one that afforded participants more control over their time, resources, and relationships to men.
Now go to the next one. Read.
Some of the women did express frustrations with their single lives.
Frustrations. What do you think? Remember, we read earlier, they're crying about rent. They're not happy at work. There's a reason for that. You're out of your natural God-given order. You don't understand. When you're out of your God-given natural order, it's going to affect you spiritually. It's going to affect your soul. You're going to not feel right. It's just like us, when we was in the world, we knew something wasn't right. Like, damn, something ain't right, man. Like, I'm out here slaving for this Edomite, disrespecting me and my people. I used to drive, every time I used to drive on the road, I used to, when I see an Edomite waiting for the bus in the hot sun, oh man, I feel so good. It's like I got extra life. Because my people are always tired, sweating, waiting for the bus. Can't catch a break. And then I understand, I came into the truth. Now I understand. This is why I need it. Because I was in my right role. We're learning, the men is learning to be in the right role. You need to follow suit. Go back.
They wanted more opportunities for companionship or for sexual expression. They worried about staying single if they wanted to marry. They also recognized that people who marry are rewarded with substantial social and economic benefits.
They're rewarded. Why? Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis chapter 2. Read, read it. 2 verse 20.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 20.
No. Go to verse 21.
Verse 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of a man.
Now read verse 18.
Verse 18. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him.
Now, what is that? Hey, look up puzzle. Go to Google real quick. You can pull it up live because I want to see it. Look up puzzle pieces. Or put puzzle piece. It's fine. Go to images. You see the second, the red, the blue one. You see that? You see how that fit piece, that piece fit together? Those pieces is what God got for you. Fit, joint together with man, your husband, your wife, joined together the pieces. He already got the pieces laid out. The family, the work, the studying, all that. Those are pieces. When you fit them together, your life will be whole. But now you don't want to do that. You want to. You ever seen kids who's trying to fix the puzzle and then you see they're trying to make a piece fit that don't fit there and then they're messing it up and it don't fit no more? No. Now go to I want an educated. We're almost done. We're gonna wrap it up. Play. Yep. Scroll down. I think there's a video to it. Let's keep going. Scroll down. All right. I guess the video is not there, but scroll up. Just read the title. We're going to move fast.
E.T. host Nichelle Turner, 47, goes viral, says she wants to date a thug with tattoos.
Makes no damn sense. Let's go to the next one. Read that.
Black women will ignore men like this because he's too weird, lame, nerdy, etc. Until he achieves success.
They want to talk though. Read.
Then see him with a woman like this and all of a sudden label him a sellout.
Next one. Next image.
Just FYI, I've dated a lot of black women and I can say this. The amount of deep-seated hatred some black women have for black men is astounding. All of the black women I've dated in one way or another tone down their blackness for me.
You know what's crazy about that? If you go on Clubhouse, you will see rooms where sisters are making rooms and saying, how to keep a white man? What must you do to find a Edomite husband? They have rooms established for that. YouTube videos. You think they do the same thing on how to keep a black man? You fully invest your what's that? What was the one of the statistic that we brought out earlier? How they they work the hardest. Why don't you work the hardest on that instead of making videos on how to keep an Edomite? Why do you say this? What they like this? This is the stuff how you have to do. You have to behave that way. Well, why? Why don't you do the same thing for your own black men? Because you've been tricked. Go to the next one. Read that.
All my friends are having babies and I'm over here like.
That's going to be you. Keep playing with it. Next, go to the last video. The last video. Play.
So growing up, I grew up in a very traditional household. I grew up with a mom and a dad. My mom was a homemaker in the most traditional sense. She made breakfast, lunch, dinner. She cooked, cleaned, took care of the house, took care of the kids. And my dad was the breadwinner. He had his own company. He worked every day to provide and protect for the family. And even growing up, I learned from a very young age how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of my siblings. I was a very responsible child when I was growing up. But also growing up, I learned very young about infidelity. And that's kind of what shaped me and molded me into becoming more of a feminist. And I'll talk about that moving forward. And so when I went to high school and going into college, I wanted to be an independent woman. I didn't want to rely on a man's income. I wanted to make my own income. So I chose to go down an engineering route. I'm a mechanical engineer with a robotics major. I'm very handy and I'm very hands-on. So engineering was a route that I wanted to go down. And that led me to becoming an oil and gas engineer. I was in that field for 3 years before starting my first company and moving to New York. But during that time frame, I was very much in my masculine energy. I was very much in my masculine form. I had to be one of the boys. So that is kind of how I creeped into being a more feminist woman. Now, fast forward, I moved to New York to start my first company, and New York was the place where feminism just took its grips into me and just latched onto me, and I adopted a lot of the ideology from New York and my time in New York. I adopted this hustle culture. I was very much an entrepreneur. I was a female CEO. I had my first company and then a second company, and I was raising money. I was in multiple publications. I had made a name for myself in the entrepreneurial space in New York. The more masculine I became, or the more I was in my masculine frame, the less happy I was, the more resentful I was, and the more combative and competitive that I was. Because being a female entrepreneur, being a female CEO, we had to fight for our seat at the table, right? We were constantly being told we needed to do all of these things to get funding. We needed to sit at the table. We needed to be super competitive. And that is the hustle culture, right? That is the dream that so many. And for those of you who maybe do or don't know, my husband and I met. I was at a work meeting and he happened to be in the same building, and we met, and it was like a whole thing. I will link that video above and below for you guys to also check out. From there, it was just, we were inseparable. We were inseparable. And the more I started working on myself, the more I realized I was creating a lot of the issues within our relationship. I would get upset with him on things that he didn't even know he was doing and all of this other stuff. And fast forward, we got engaged. And during our engagement process, we were encouraged to pursue premarital counseling. Now, I didn't want to do premarital counseling, okay? Premarital counseling to me was like, why would we do this? We can just get married. Well, let me tell you, premarital counseling was probably the thing that saved our relationship and taught us the roles of a wife and a husband. Through that work with our counselor, with doing one-on-ones, I realized that I was still very much in my feminist mindset, right? I had worked on myself. I thought I was doing all this stuff. And I realized that I needed to take on the role. If I wanted to be a wife, I needed to take on the role of a wife. And what does that mean, right? A wife is submissive to her husband. My husband leads in my relationship. Does that mean that I am a doormat? Does that mean that I'm a slave to him? Does that mean that I do everything that he says? Absolutely not. And that is what is probably the biggest detriment to women, because that is what they believe. They think that being submissive means that a man can just walk all over you. And if that's the case, no, I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you guys that being submissive, all that means is having trust in your husband's decision-making skills, having that ability to lean on your husband and letting him take the lead in the household. I'm his co-pilot, right? But we both have to share our opinions. We both have to share in the conversation. And then at the end of the day, he makes the final decision. And it's also understanding the roles we play in our relationship, right? My husband is the main breadwinner in our relationship. I make money here on YouTube. It's amazing, but it's definitely more of a supplemental income than it is a true income. Communicating what your roles are before you get married will set the expectations for your marriage. Now, if your husband loves to cook, right, then he can cook the dinners. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to communicate with one another what these roles are before we sign the dotted line. And so that is what submission, and that's what being a wife to me actually means. It's also taking care of myself. I make sure that I look good for my husband, not because, oh, I need to look a certain way for him, but I want him to want me. I want my husband to desire me. I don't want him to look outside of the house. I don't want him to look to other women. It is so refreshing when you have a man, a masculine man, that can take on his masculine form, and I can then move into my feminine form, and we can complement each other. We don't compete with each other. We don't. Because once we started competing with each other, we had a lot more issues. Why would I compete with my husband? We're on the same.
Why would she compete with her husband? They're on the same team. That's what a lot of black women don't understand. They got you fighting against us. They got you thinking if you submit to your husband, you're a pick me. Is that what they call it? Pick me? Like, where did they get that stuff from? Listen, wise women, righteous women who's trying to get yourself right, don't let these ratchet ass women make you feel any less of a woman for playing your role. You playing your role. You will be happier. They are desperate. No matter how masculine they try to be, no matter how tough they try to look, dance around, middle finger. No, they're sad. When they see you, they're sad. Best believe that. When they see you looking modest, pretty dress, pretty skirts, you don't walking around with their umbrellas, they're sad when they look at you. They want you to look like them so they can feel better. All right? Never forget that.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC, has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.